Jude.
Judo. Jude.
When I was pregnant with our firstborn, my husband and I were traveling with a band, and we were leading worship at a church that was like 5 hours away, and my water broke. And so we just went to the nearest hospital, and I had Jude, my son. He was born premature, so we got connected with early childhood intervention, and he qualified because he could not track a finger. So even babies at 4 months old should be able to track your finger across their face. Jude could only follow the finger like about this far, and then he just slipped into his own world. And then around 12 months, I started noticing some peculiar things about him. Like if I called his name from across the house, he would panic and run away and scream. He wouldn't come toward me. He wasn't making eye contact, and really he wasn't even responding to his name at all. And if you Google those things, everything that comes up is autism.
Jude. Hey, Jude. Hey.
I was afraid about our future, like, can we have more children? We didn't want to say no to potentially more children in our family, and just wanted to be open to that and really walk by faith and not by fear. And so became pregnant again and again and again and kept having children. And with every one, you know, it was very scary because our autistic son was getting bigger and he was getting harder to handle. I was like kind of the number one go-to caretaker for Jude through, you know, a lot of his life up until about 10. I remember actually very specifically, I was having a physical altercation with him and kind of wrestling him back, was in my bedroom right here, and he ended up pinning me down. And it went from me kind of, like, you stop that, to don't hurt me. I was locking my other kids in a room 2 to 3 times a week to shield them from him, because he would get upset about something and he had kind of like a signature scream and everybody knew. And John would just pick him up as best as he could or literally drag him out of the house. That's an emotional situation you never even consider that you'll face in your life. Even though I feared him, I loved him. And that's why I think it took so long to come to the decision that he could not live here anymore. And I hugged him and I just said, Jude, I will be back, I promise. And I walked out. And I remember the emotion that I had felt for years of fear was immediately replaced with grief. About 18 months in, with a lot of psychiatric oversight, Jude finally stabilized. But long term, Jude needs a place to go. Jude will have to always have support. We won't be here forever, and we don't want to put that burden on our other children. And when we were visiting and talking to other intentional communities, the common theme that we were hearing from all of them is they do not take people with higher needs. They don't take people with behaviors. What's left for people like Jude? It's the state-supported living centers. Those are the only options, which are the most restrictive environments in our society. So, when we realized all this, we're like, well, somebody's got to do something, And we kept waiting for that somebody to show up. And we realized we're the somebody. The vision is to provide group home living on acreage for higher needs individuals with an intellectual disability to thrive. That's what Rehoboth means. God-given space to prosper. So we need the place and we need the resources to build homes and to develop the property to make it a beautiful and safe place. I want to make sure that people like Jude have a future, and I want to help families that are like us, that are struggling to go to sleep at night wondering what the future holds for their loved one, because it's so scary to, first of all, just to institutionalize your child. It's very scary. But if you find a place that's Christ-centered, that would be running at the standard that we would set, with the right people working, that are paid well, that are trained well, it is very, very difficult to look across our entire nation and find that. There's a great, great need for it. And I can't tell you how many people have said, save a place for my child at Rehoboth Acres.